Hello everyone, here's the example of our reel-to-reel spooling mechanism. There are two components to this mechanism. You have what I call the spool holder and the re-spooler. This will hold your electrode reel, so you have a set of electrodes that go over this and it holds. The electrodes are then unloaded into what I call the re-spooler. Some features of the spool holder here are that there's 5 points of contact to make sure that the motor and the spool are rigidly in contact with each other. There's a finger cutout, which helps with easy removal of the spool later. And there's these what I call ears, which allow for easy application or pushing of the system itself to help mate with the spool. On the re-spooler, it is spring-loaded. You have a spring-loaded slot in here, which allows the electrodes to go into this slot, be held rigidly, and then allow spooling and re-spooling of the electrode itself. So here's an example. We have our sample electrode spool here, which you can see. To apply the electrode spool, you just take the spool itself, align it over some of these prongs, and then push it on. You'll hear a nice engagement once it's fully on. Hear that click? So then what we're seeing here is 5 points of contact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with the inner diameter of the spool itself. These little press prongs, which help remove the spool, the finger removal, and a component to push if we need to. So how the system works is that you would load your spool as so, and you would push this component up on this side, allow for the slot to open, slide your electrode in, feed it through a bit, and now the system is ready for testing. This would be done by a clinician or biomed or whoever interfaces with the system itself. These tangs here, these little lips, serve as a guide mechanism for the spool itself so that it does not unroll at an angle. It keeps everything parallel to the direction of rotation, tangent to the direction of rotation. So here's an example. So let's say you loaded it, you wanted to get it started up. So if I do this, you can see the right side. You start spooling the system. And now let's say this is your starting point. The procedure's going on, blood comes from the rest of the system, and then there'll be a dispensing mechanism which dispenses blood into each of these electrodes here. Contacts will come down, touch the leads, a test will be ran. The procedure will continue to go, and then after it's tested, the values will go displayed on a screen, and the procedure continues. Now let's say another test is needed. The system can continue to move. It'll advance to the next spool, so the next test is here. Some time passes, need another test. And it'll just periodically move the electrode reel as needed. So now let's say the procedure is done, your test is done, the operation is done. We'll have a secondary mechanism that will come in and cut the electrode spool at the position of the last test. So these have all been not used, and these have been used, so we have to dispose of these. So a system will come through, cut this, you have your spent, and you're good. So now, let's say everything's done, everything's clean, and we need to re-spool the good electrodes. So what we'll do is we will do something like this. And you can see the system here is just re-spooling everything. And then now this can be removed. So it's pretty convenient to remove it. You use these three lips here. You push these in. You use a space in the back to touch the core of the spool. Slide it out. And then now the spool is free and is ready for the next test. Another interesting feature of the system is that if for some reason this gets spent, it gets dirty, or we need to remove it for some reason, we don't have to dispose of the entire system. You can merely pop this out, and then now the spring-loaded mechanism which held the electrodes is free. And then you can grab another one, pop a new one in, and then you are good for the next procedure. It's easy as that, and we're good to go. Thank you.